May I proceed, madam?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So, Mr. Khatebe, I'll just pause from the questions that I asked you yesterday. I just want to commence by asking you the background of Section 218. Firstly, can you actually translate the word confession for me in Zulu? What does it mean?
Ukusho okwenzile ngesikhathi ucommita a crime.
It is to say what you did at the time of the commission of a crime.
Okay. All right. In this case, as I've said, I just want to draw you back to Section 218, subsection 1 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Are you familiar with that provision?
Yes, but not word to word.
Yebo ke u218 lona ongibuza ngaye ke ngiyamazi ke kodwa hayi ukuthi nje ngimazi ewonke noma ephelele igama ngegama.
Yeah, looking at the evidence that you gave to the court, that this is the fourth pointing out that you have ever conducted since you were appointed as a police officer. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Shilo ke ukuthi bese noma kuye kuyisini noma bezu4 ezinye ebese ngizenzile ke i-pointing out ngaphambi kwalena.
Can you please go back to the paragraph in the pro forma where you said you were requested by Colonel Gininda? Do you see that paragraph that deals with that?
Yes.
I think it's paragraph 2, if I'm not mistaken. Do you see that?
It's 1.
It's paragraph 1.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for the correction. So in that paragraph, you mentioned that you were telephoned by Colonel Gininda to
Yes.
conduct an investigation regarding the pointing out.
Yes, my lord.
Yebo ke lana kubhaliwe ukuthi ke ngafonelwa ke yena uKenneth Gininda ukuthi ngilekeleleke ngayo i-pointing out.
Did he specify, because according to the answers that you put here, he said, you can assist me in my case. He did not specify actually what case was he referring to. Do you agree?
Yes.
Lana yebo kubhaliwe ke ukuthi wangicela ukuthi ngimlekelele ngecase yakhe akashongo ke noma anikeze imininingwane ukuthi yipi i-case.
Was it on purpose that it was omitted in your pro forma to conduct a case and does not specify what type of a case was it?
My lord, it's never intentional to hide information, but it is not correct that a person will tell you on what case does he want you to do pointing out, because he will then be discussing the merits of the case.
Akukho ke okwenziwa ngenhloso noma ukuthi mhlambe ke kuyafihlwa ke noma kungavezwa ke noma kwenziwa lokho ngenhloso, kodwa ke angeke kube kahle ke noma kube right ukuthi manje uma esecela ukuthi umlekelele ecaseini ase ekunikeza nemininingwane ke ukuthi yipi case, ngoba manje ke uzobe esekhuluma noma esekutshela ke ngecase leyo.
Yes, but in relation to this provision of Section 218, there was a specific fact that you expected from the accused. There's a specific, or there's a fact that you were supposed to discover from the accused in terms of that provision. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yebo ke ngokwalomthetho ke u218 kwakhona ke lokho okwakufanele ukuthi ke ngikutholeke noma ngikuzweke kuyena umsolwa.
And in terms of discovering that fact in relation to the information to be given by the accused, that means you had no prior knowledge. You had no prior knowledge of the facts in which you were to conduct a pointing out. Is that
That's
so?
correct, my lord.
Ukuthi ke nkathi ke noma ngaleso sikhathi noma uma esengitshelile ke ngalokho ke umsolwa kusho ukuthi umtshela ngento ebengingenayo ulwazi lwayo noma bengenayo imininingwane mayelana necala lelo.
So when going to the equation where after you have explained to him, especially section 35, about the reasons for his arrest, you indicated that he was arrested, he said he was arrested for, he was going to point out for the allegations of dealing in drugs. Is that so?
My lord, the accused never said he was going to point out on allegations of drugs.
Umsolo akakaze asho ukuthi uzoyokhomba mayela neinsolo zokushushumbisa noma ke zokusebenza ngeidakamizwa.
He said he was in custody on a drug dealing case.
Wathi uboshiwe uboshelwe icala leidakamizwa.
All right. To make a follow-up on that question, in your mind, because you said you did not have a prior knowledge regarding the facts upon which he was supposed to go and point out, were you under the impression that he was going to point out on the case that he was arrested for?
My lord, in my mind, it was the accused who was going to point out on whatever he wanted to point out.
Mina noma ke emqondweni wami ke kwakuwumsolwa owayezohamba ayokhomba noma yini leyo yena awayifuna noma efisa ukuthi ayoyikhomba.
May I approach the
Yes.
state, my lord? Thank you, ma'am. So about the case of Senzo Meyiwa, how did you come about to know about his death?
I came up to know about his death on television.
Ukwazi kwami ke mayelana nokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa ngakwazi lokho ke ngokubona ke ku-TV.
So you had a knowledge in terms of before the accused were arrested, that there were other people that were arrested before the accused in relation to that matter. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngokuthi ke kwakukhona ke nabanye abantu ababeboshiwe ke ngaphambilini ke ukuthi baboshwe bona ke nalokho ke ngakwazi.
If it came to your attention on the 5th of June 2020 that the pointing out that you had to conduct related to the death of Senzo Meyiwa, did that not conflict with the information that you expected from accused number one to give you prior to the pointing out?
My lord, it did not conflict with the information that I had because I had very little knowledge regarding the in-depth investigation of Senzo Meyiwa's case.
Ukuthi ke i-pointing out leyo ke yayimayela ke nalo ke idaba lokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa angeke ngithi ke kwakungubuzana ke noma kwakushayisana lokho naloko mina ke enganginako noma ulwazi enganginalo ngoba ke ulwazi enganginalo mayelana nokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa laluncane kakhulu.
Are you aware that as per the requirement of section 218, as the accused person, as you said, he voluntarily and freely gave you the information relating to the said matter, was it not a supplementary information from what you had prior?
My Lord, the information that I got from the accused was never a supplementary information because I did not have any in-depth information regarding the case. And I never formed part of the investigation of them.
Ulwazi ke awanginika lona ke noma angalithola kuyena ke umsolwa bangasikona ke ukwengeza kulokho ke enganginako ngoba ngangingenalo ke ulwazi olujulile ke mayela ke nalo icala noma ukushona kwakhe uSenzo ngoba angikaze beyingxenye yethimba eliphenyayo.
All right. Now, upon your arrival at Albertine Police Station, you gave the reason that they did not want to account for the fear of the escape. Do you still remember saying that?
That's true, my Lord.
Shilo ke ngiyakhumbula ngikusho ke ukuthi babe Albertine ke babengafisiki noma bengafuni ukuthi kufanele ukuthi baphenduleke mayela nokubaleka kwakhe noma ukuthi ke angabaleka.
Did you buy that reason? Did you actually accede to that reason to be the real reason?
Yes, my Lord. Hence, I went and signed for the accused in the registers.
Kwaku lokho ke kwaba imbangela ke yokuthi noma ingakho ke ngahamba ke mina ngaya kuyona iregister leyo kwaba yimina umuntu osayindayo noma umsayindelayo umsolwa.
We're talking about the accused who intended to point out freely and voluntarily. Do you think of any reason why they had a reason to believe that he was going to escape? On the other hand, the accused is the one who volunteered to the pointing out. Is that not a contrast?
My Lord, it is not a contrast. The members that had doubts and feared about an escape were the people of Albertine SAPS, who were then in custody of the accused at that time.
Akusukuthi ke kunokushayisa noma kunokunguzana ke ukuthi umsolwa koluhlangothi uyena umuntu wayefisa noma efuna ukuthi kuphuma kuyena ukuthi ayokhomba nokuthi manje lapha bonaka amaphoyisa ayesaba ke ukuthi uma kungenzeka ukuthi ke eqe noma ke abaleke lokho ke akusikona ke ukunguzana nokushayisa nabantu ababesaba ke babesaba lokho yilaba abase Albertine Police Station ekwakuyibona awaye ngaphansi kwabo.
All right, let's get back now to the explanation of rights. You indicated yesterday that you explained the rights in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution, the right to remain silent, the consequences of not remaining silent, right to legal representation, right to apply for legal aid in the event it does not have money. And I did not receive a response in relation to or after the accused said, yes, I understand. I'm still curious to know why there was no follow-up after he said he does understand. Because it's not clear whether he understood the rights as explained and he intended to either to opt for a legal representation or to speak without, or to waive the right to remain silent.
My Lord, the questions do not only stop at yes, I understand. It continues where I warn the accused, and it still goes, do you still further wish to point out the sins, where he then says, I still want to point out and give a statement. So it's not only based on, stops on yes, I understand.
Lemibuzo ke ayiphelile kuphela ke ethi nje ingabe uyezwa yini iyaqhubeka ke ngoba ke ila sengimxwayisa khona ke ukuthi uyabuzwa ke ukuthi usafisa yini noma kuseyisifiso sakho yini sokuthi uqhubekeke uyokhomba aphenduleke athi ngisafisa noma ngisafuna ukuthi ngiyokhomba futhi nginikeze ngestatement.
All right, let's get into the right to have legal representation. what was his response in terms of that?
He was informed of all the rights and he chose to continue. That is the response.
Watshelwa-ke ngawo onke amalungelo wakhetha-ke ukuthi aqhubeke yileyo impendulo.
Now, say, let me be specific in terms of the right to legal representation. I think if it was an option that was exercised by the accused, that should have been in your pro forma. As an answer, you got directly from the accused.
My lord, it couldn't be. The accused was informed of all his rights, and the accused still preferred to continue.
Lana-ke umsolwa uma uthi-ke bakufanele lelo lungelo-ke uma kwakuwukuthi isinqumo sakho kwakuwukuthi-ke aqhubeke ngaphandle kommeli, kwakumele ngikubhale phansi lokho noma khona kule form, bangeke-ke ngoba-ke umsolwa watshelwa-ke ngawo onke amalungelo akhe waseqhubeka-ke yena-ke noma-ke ethi uzoqhubeka.
But I'm specific about the right to a legal representative. I understand you talk about all the rights, because he was supposed to exercise his right, his constitutional right. Either he wants to go in person or to be represented. That's the right that I'm concerned about at the moment.
My lord, my answer is that all these rights, it does not mean the legal one is sacrosanct or bigger than the other one. All the rights were explained to him and he chose to continue. Going specific on a specific right means that then we undermine the rest of the other rights.
Lamalungelo awawatshelwa noma awanikezwa onke akusho ukuthi-ke leli lungelo wena-ke ugxile kulona-ke lommeli lingaphezulu-ke kwamanye. Uma manje-ke sesizokhetha-ke elilodwa kusho ukuthi amanye lana-ke ama-rights wona-ke awabalulekile.
So are you telling the court that the rights that are mentioned in this pro forma are the only rights that are enshrined under Section 35 of the Bill of Rights? Is that what you are telling the court?
No, my lord.
Angisho ukuthi lana abhalwe lana-ke iwona kuphela ama-rights akhona-ke ngaphansi kwakhe uSection 35.
In explanation of the rights at that moment, did you explain to him that he has a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty? Did you explain that right?
I explained the rights that were in the pro forma, my lord.
Yabuza kumele ukuthi-ke ilungelo lokuthi-ke ubonwa-ke noma-ke uzobonwa-ke umsulwa kuze kube yisikhathi la khona-ke ulahlwa icala noma amacala enkantolo, lithi-ke mina ngichaze amalungelo la akhona-ke kwi-form.
So at the time you were explaining these rights, I'm glad you considered that particular right you never explained to the accused. Let me proceed by saying, when you explain these rights to the accused, were you aware as to when was he arrested?
No, my lord.
Cha, ngangingazi-ke nkathi ngimtshela ngala malungelo ukuthi waboshwa nini.
Did you ask the accused as to when was he arrested?
No, my lord, I did not ask him when was he arrested.
Futhi-ke angimbuzanga-ke nokuthi waboshwa nini.
Why not? Why didn't